Alright, boys and girls, today we're playing Shining Sarcophagus. The new pack came out and everything here is looking amazing. I believe this is the best version you can play for Shining Sarcophagus, and I did make some interesting choices while building the deck, so let's talk about it. Now let's go over the Shining Sarcophagus cards and then I'm gonna continue. Basically, we play Playset of Gadget Trio, which is standard with the 1 Swordsman and the 2 copies Magician. This is your best ratio for these two, by the way. Also, we play the 2 copies of Gandora with the 2 copies of Dark Magician. Dark Magician is the most disappointing card I've ever seen for Shining Sarcophagus. Basically, because Dragoon is not in the game, you have basically the option to go for Secrets of Dark Magic, and your best target is gonna be the Dark Magician of the Dragon Knight. And basically, if you try to go for something else, it would be very much lackluster and you don't really need it. So let's look at the fusion monsters. Dark Cavalry is another option, but you gotta use the Swordsman, which is not ideal. And then it's the Dark Magic, the Knight of Dragon Magic, which again requires a Dragon monster as well, which is cool, but again, it's not really that great of a card. So basically, this is your only good option. Now, another card you can play actually, because I looked up every single spell and trap you can play, nothing here is good except for this, which is there's the archetypal card you can use. Essentially, this is your Mirror Force, but also when your opponent activates an effect, you can chain it and just destroy everything attack position, and then you get a nice protection effect. You can read it, it's a long effect, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but basically this is what you're intended to play in this list. However, I just want to play Secrets of Dark Magic just to have a protection for my back row, because this card actually protects me for everything, while the Shining Sarcophagus actually is only protected from monsters, so at least it gives it a little more protection, right? It's not that bad of an idea, I guess. You could actually not even play this, or even play like one copy of it. I would suggest you maybe cut one and play like one more copy, Ties That Bind, because I only play one of it, by the way, and this is the next thing I want to talk about. Typically in a pure list, I would suggest you play 2, but here, because we're playing a lot with the extra deck, I believe this is like a one-off, because the majority of times we're not gonna use second copy of it. For now, we're gonna leave it like this, but you can change it if you want. Also, we have the playset of Shining Sarcophagus, obviously the 2 copies of Turn Silence. This is a really cool card as a 2 of, and then the playset of Future Silence, which is again our starter, and the 1 copy of Stronghold, which again isn't necessary, by the way. Now, for my other engine and the more interesting part, we are playing Melodious, the card that just came out. I'm playing the playset of Refrain, playset of Couplet, the playset of Ostinato, and the 1 Melodious Concerto with the 2 copies of Baja. What does that accomplish? Well, basically you summon both Bajas, then you go for the Odious Absolute Dragon, then you go for the Vortex, and then you go for the, by the way, by linking off the Absolute Dragon, one more body, you go for Cross Ship, and the goal is to just link summon the end board off of just 1 Ostinato. Is gonna be your Odious Vortex Dragon together with IP and a Palooza, which is incredible. Sometimes you can go for Duel as well. It's just incredible, a really good engine. As of the extra deck, the 1 Vortex and Absolute, as I said, the 2 copies of Baja, the 1 Dark Magician, the 1 Dweller, which sometimes comes up and it's actually pretty cool, IP into SP, then we have Lina and Dark into Celine because we play a Spellcaster, and also we go into a Palooza or Access Code. Also, we have the Exceed the Pendulum, which just gives us an additional extender, sometimes pretty cool. But yeah, that's the list. I'm gonna explain everything in the combo section, but I think that Shining Sarcophagus does need a small engine to make it a little bit better, because some of those cards are a little lackluster and weird, so I think you gotta have something else to work with. But anyways, now let's get into the combo guide and have some fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so basically what we need is 1 copy of Ostinato together with a way to get access to the Shining Sarcophagus. Gadget 3 will work perfectly fine. So let's start with the Ostinato here. We're gonna be, of course, fusion summoning into the Baja by using the 2 pendulum scales. We're gonna be now activating the Baja's effect, getting us an extender, and this is gonna be just the standard Melodious combo, basically. We're gonna be space summoning from deck the Refrain. Now Refrain on summon is gonna trigger, of course, getting us a search for the Couplet, and Couplet, of course, will trigger as well because we searched it, allowing us to space summon from the graveyard the other copy of Refrain. Now we're gonna be setting the Couplet to the pendulum scale, and of course, we're gonna be using the effect of it to fusion summon into the, actually no, we're gonna first search the Concerto, right? Then we're gonna activate the Concerto to fusion summon, you know, same stuff. And now we're gonna be using 1 from the pendulum scale, 1 from here, to summon the Baja. Now, one thing we gotta do now, we gotta activate both of them to get the pendulum scales back to the field. And there's actually one important step here in order to get the Cross Ship's effect live. What we gotta do is we gotta activate the effect of Refrain, and we gotta deck it in with 1, sending to the graveyard the level 4. Because now, when we exceed summon into the Absolute Dragon here, we're gonna be then linking off the 2 monsters for Cross Ship. Now, the problem typically would be, because we don't have a level 4 in the graveyard, there won't be a target for Cross Ship. That's why we send it on purpose from the deck. And now we basically activate Concerto to go +1. We activate the Absolute to summon the Vortex, and then we're gonna go for the Baja to bring back a monster from the graveyard, the level 5, so the Cross Ship is live. Now special summon somewhere away from the zones. Now we're gonna go for also the Vortex Dragon in the right zone, and the Concerto is gonna give us +1 for anything. Ties That Bind is interesting. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. So now we're gonna activate the effect, special summon the Refrain, and now just for the sake of getting an extra extender, let's go for the exceed the pendulum using these two, just for the sake of getting more bodies to work with, right? Not too bad of an idea. And now we're gonna be using it, of course, to get to our hand. It doesn't really matter what we get, just the pendulum monster. And now we are gonna be, let's see, we can special summon it. So let's do that. And then we're gonna go for the Palooza, of course, by using these two. So it will go back to the pendulum scale. Now, what's important is we need to have access to 2 level 4s, which we currently do. So let's pendulum summon for only 2. By the way, keep in mind you cannot pendulum summon gadget trio, so don't even try to do that. Now we summon 2, and then we're gonna be using 1 body plus the level 5 to go for IP and 2 more to go for Duel. Now typically there is a scenario in which you're gonna get an extra body, but sometimes that doesn't work. In the current scenario it didn't work, so we're gonna go for something a little more creative. Let's summon now the Dweller, and now let's go with the gadget trio normal summon, activate the effect, of course, to search the Shining Sarcophagus. And now what I have to mention, usually when you play this deck you are gonna go and search the ties that bind, but as you can see you need to control a Shining Sarcophagus monster that mentions it, right? So when you go for gadget trio and you exceed someone into Dweller, which is something that will happen if you need a second level 4 body, or you link it off for IP, for example, you're not gonna have the space for it, right? So there's no point going for the ties that bind. You can go for something else. So we're gonna be now linking off just for the sake of showcasing it, because we gotta go for IP anyways. Now that leaves us with this field right here, and Shining Sarcophagus is basically gonna try to get us something that can be a little bit better. So what do we need? We can get Future Silence, that can give us a nice follow-up. You can also get the Turn Silence if you already have a monster on the field. We can also get like other things. You can go the Dark Magician, even though that's kind of one of the worst options. Now of course we cannot get these two because these are not free summons. So what I'm going to do now is basically just get anything so I can activate the ties that bind, space summon a monster. But of course, let's say you don't have the ties that bind, just gonna search, for example, Future Silence to get a follow-up. Okay, so I talk a lot about specifically things you can do, but there's like a lot of options. Now let's just go for like a Dark Magician at random, completely random, right? We just space summon Dark Magician, I guess, for whatever reason. We activate the ties that bind, we can space summon 1 monster, so we're gonna go for the better one, Silent Magician 0. This can be your field, basically. Of course, the Melodious engine basically gives you a Palooza when it's activated, by the way, with the Ostinato, gives us a Palooza, IP, Dweller, and the Odai's Vortex. That's it, that's all you get. But this is gonna be the general idea. You go +1, you go with a bunch of negates, you don't even need the Shining Sarcophagus cards. So yeah, let's just head now into the live game so we can just test things out. Oh, that's a very bad hand. We're gonna go for Port of Prosperity and we're gonna go for 6 because we desperately need something. So I got rid of the whole access code line together with the Exceed and Dark Magician stuff, and that's really all we can do. Shining Sarcophagus, we got double Shining Sarcophagus. Well, that's still the best thing we can do, so let's just get it, I guess. Now let's go with the Shining Sarcophagus here. I would have loved to draw a Melodious card, but my luck is not great. Let's get the Surge here. We need the gadgets maybe, just to get an additional. Actually, I mean, we can technically just go for the ties that bind. Let's do that. Now we're gonna normal summon the Swordsman because we're gonna be space summoning the second Magician from the deck with the ties that bind. And my opponent seems to have something. I don't know what it is. Anyways, let's go with the ties here. Let's get 2 bodies. Chaining Maxi. Wait, what? You didn't chain it earlier? Well, I guess he didn't have to. We're gonna negate that. So now we're gonna get on the field the Silent Magician, of course. And also we're gonna get the Gadget Trio. So we're gonna summon this in attack mode. Maybe a better idea, maybe not. I don't know. Then we're gonna go with the Gadget just to get a nice little search here. And I guess we can go for Turn Silence just because it's helpful. It's really underwhelming field, but hey, we got horrible luck. Well, let's hope it's enough. Oh, that's Pydra. Oh, that's ugly. Well, we can actually chain Turn Silence to negate it. I mean, if we don't negate now, when are we gonna negate, right? So might as well use it now. Let's increase the levels of the Silent Magician 0 here, and we're gonna stop that effect from going through, which is pretty cool. And with the Silent Magician 0, we're gonna probably negate like a Kaimin if he has one. That's like the ideal scenario. Okay, that's Chundra. That's not the ideal scenario. We don't like that. I don't think we're winning this, to be honest. He synchro summons into Black Rose Drag. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Brother. Nah, we can't do anything about it yet. If he has, like, Kaimin now, it's just a loss. Please don't have any other extenders. Oh, that's Duster. Sure. Well, that kind of deals with my whole field now. Come on. There are a lot of top decks that save me from this situation, and that's not one of them. That's definitely not one of them. Oh, no. We're gonna just attack for 1,000. We have only one Ace in our sleeve, and this is in the graveyard. We can use the turn silence to end the battle phase, which is the only thing we can do. Now this is gonna get a, of course, counter, but you don't control Shining Sarcophagus, so it doesn't do anything. Immediately into the end phase. Really? Oh, that's a beautiful top deck. Okay, now we can actually play the game a little bit. Let's go Refrain, normal summon. We're gonna get, of course, the search for the other pendulum monster. Let's just go with Concerto. That's gonna give us the most amount of bodies to work with. Oh, that's a Max C. Well, that's gonna be an Ash Blossom, dude. I can risk him surviving another turn. Oh, he just cooked. Wow. Sure. That was an interesting game, I guess. Oh, that's a nice start. We can go for Ostinato. Problem is we really don't have anything else, so if that gets negated, we're kind of just screwed. But let's see what we can do. Oh, it actually went through, which is beautiful. Let's just use the 2 pendulums. We're gonna summon this in defense mode here, the Baja. If he tries to negate it, we have Cold Buy, which is something. But if he goes for Imperm specifically, I'm screwed. Okay, he didn't do that. Well, let's in that case go for the combo. We're gonna go Refrain. We're gonna get the nice little search here. We're gonna grab the Couplet. Couplet, on the other hand, is gonna give us the extender. Just the same usual combo. It provides so much value for us. It's ridiculously good. It brings so much bodies to the field. Also gives us a +1. Also, it gives us a number of interruptions, all for the cost of either committing normal summon or going for Ostinato, which all in all doesn't seem like too bad to me. Now we're gonna send to the graveyard the level 4 as usual, so we can bring it back with Cross Sheep. And I think I'm going for Cross Sheep line just to get the most amount of bodies to work with, since from what I can see, my hand doesn't exactly look that great, so we gotta do something else. Let's link off into Cross Sheep these 2, and now we're gonna be activating a whole bunch of effects, and hopefully we're gonna top deck something. Let's go Concerto for the +1. Let's go with the Absolute Dragon, summon the other one, and then let's go for the Monster Reborn for the level 5 here. Boom, special summon the level 5. Now we get to summon the Vortex to the zone Cross Sheep is pointing to, and now the top deck. Come on, give me something good, please, please, please. Oh, that is useless. We don't need the second Ostinato, bro. Let's bring back to the field the level 4. We can go for the Exceed the Pendulum, which can give us like an additional body here, which is not that bad. We're gonna do it with the level 5 though. Maybe I should have summoned the level 4 to the left zone here, but whatever. Let's just get this effect going. Return to the hand the level 4. I wanna go for Dueler eventually. Let's use it, I guess. Yeah. Special summon that level 4 from the hand. Now we're gonna use it to link off into a Palooza. It doesn't matter how we summon it, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be pendulum summoning from the extra deck 2 monsters. So literally it doesn't matter which zone it is in. We're just gonna use it for 2. So now I usually go for a Abyss Dweller, as I said, but maybe IP will straight up just be better a little bit, because we clearly don't have anything else, right? Maybe IP is just gonna be better. Let's do IP using this. Yeah, that's nice. We have 0 access to any of our engines, which is horrible. Oh, I could have normal summoned Maxi instead and going for IP and the Abyss Dweller, but whatever. Maxi is probably better than Dweller overall, so it doesn't matter. Let's just use Maxi in the draw phase. Literally, we played 0 Sarcophagus cards, but this is what we got. Well, we're gonna have to go for the Vortex Dragon here, my friend, because we gotta get those draws. And we resolve the Maxi, but we have no spell or trap card negation. Ooh, that's horrible. Let's go IP. We're gonna go into SP, so we can at least keep it for the secondary effect. And we are not losing anything except for our banishing, which we're gonna use right now just to banish anything. Like, doesn't matter, just so we can get one banish eventually for Gandora to go bigger and stuff. Well, let's chain SP. In case we survive, we're gonna banish the Vortex, so we can return both during the next turn and do something. Now, problem I have, I'm most likely not gonna survive this, right? If he's playing Tenpai, literally normal summon Paijua, me losing the game. Okay, well, I mean, Genroku, we can Cold Buy. That's actually better. We might have a chance. Wow. He's keeping my dream alive. Battle phase. Oh, yeah, that's the Kai, man. Horrible. What can I do? I didn't draw a single card from my Shining stuff. So, like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's literally just Melodious cards, which is so unfortunate. Okay, that's actually not a great hand, but we might be able to bait an interruption here. Couplet can at least bait some sort of an interruption. Okay, never mind. They don't have anything. Well, if they don't have Imperm as well, I might be able to go for the trio and actually build somewhat of a field. Oh my god, that actually happens. Now let's activate the Sarcophagus here. Now, because we have Swordsman, I'm really hesitant whether I need to go for the standard play or not. I mean, I still think I need to go for the standard play with Ties That Bind, because what am I gonna do otherwise? Yeah, let's just use it. This deck, dude, if it doesn't have the extra fuel with the Melodious cards, just feels so awkward. I'm literally gonna spare someone from hand the Swordsman, because I have nothing better to do. This is so awkward, man. I even summon it in a questionable zone. Let's set 1 past turn. Well, we have some negates. Black Fang, sure. And normal summoning Kit. Okay, so he's playing Branded, I believe. Despia Theater of the Branded. Why do you play Black Fang Magician in this deck though? He's cooking. He's cooking. So fusion summoning using Kit and 2 other monsters for the Guardian Chimera. Bro. Oh my god, dude. Probably gonna get rid of the back. Oh, the back row? Wait, what? I expected him to get rid of the Magician, but he went for the back row. Interesting. Oh, Battle Phase. He literally has nothing else with this cooked deck and I'm still unable to do anything. Magician dies. And now activating Future Silence. Wow, he's playing. Seriously, we're playing a mirror match, kind of. He already used his normal summon though, so it's kind of weird. Right, that's Sarcophagus of his own. I didn't know he has it. So he can go for Gandora and he can go for a follow-up. Oh, he's actually gonna go for Dark Magician plus Gandora. Yeah, okay. Destroy minus 4000. Destroy absolutely everything except for the 2 Sarcophagus. And then he's gonna get some other things. Space summoning a Magician, so he has a negation. Also, he's gonna go for the Dark Magician, which will set also either the Mirror Force or... Oh, he doesn't even play a target. Well, I mean, let's just do the exact same thing to him, bro. Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm actually gonna do it immediately. Not even gonna bother going for Dark Magician, right? Now we're gonna space summon Dark Magician here for the sole purpose of hitting for game. He can change the effect of his Dark Magician, bring it back. I can't do anything about that. Let's go Trio. Trio is gonna give me a nice little search. Let's go with Future Silence now. Get the search for the Dark Magician so I can space summon it as well. It just literally beat sticks. This deck actually sucks, to be honest. I don't know. It's such a fun deck, but without the Melodious engine, they just don't do anything. I don't know. It's so weird.